Hello and welcome to the Heaven Bound Sunday School class at the First General Baptist Church in Truman. We're going to read a few verses from Psalm 62. Now, it's been said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is a true and proven rule for investing in the long run. Diversification is vital in life. But what if you had a basket that's 100% trustworthy? Now, King David tells us in the text that we're going to read that we should put all our eggs or trust in one basket if that basket is God. He is trustworthy, despite having counselors and men willing to fight to the death for him. Now, David chose to wait on and trust only in God, an opportunity to invest your life in a God who's all-knowing, all-wise, and all-powerful. It's not risky, but rather the most intelligent thing that we could all do. We can't go wrong when we put all our trust in the rock of our salvation, Jesus Christ. And furthermore, he's worth waiting for in times of trouble. Now, some of the Psalms are considered lament prayers, and they talk about grief and suffering. And then there's also some Psalms that are called thanksgivings, and they express gratitude. Now, Psalm 62 is neither a lament nor a thanksgiving hymn, though it contains elements of both. Instead, this psalm can appropriately be called a confidence psalm. It expresses trust and hope in God in the middle of distress. Confidence psalms arise from an assured relationship with God. The psalmists are confident that God is their help and refuge. They trust in God's power and goodness, and they hope in God's faithfulness. Now we're going to read that scripture beginning in verse 1. Truly, my soul waiteth upon God. From him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength and my refuge is in God. Trust in him at all times, ye people, and pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. God hath spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto God. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. Now in the Hebrew, verse 1 could be read, truly my soul is silent before God. David is waiting in silence before God. There are times when we need to get to a quiet place and wait in silence on God. Jesus tells us to go to our closet and close the door, and that's out of Matthew 6:6. We can hear God best when the distractions of the world are shut out. Now, patience is also necessary in our interactions with God. But when it comes to God, we can never wait too long for him to speak or intercede on our behalf. King David understood the importance of waiting and trusting in God, especially in difficult times. Our text is believed to have been written by King David during the time that his son Absalom was trying to overthrow his rule as king. Now, David had a long history with God. His past experiences convinced him that trusting in God's deliverance is always the right thing to do. Furthermore, his willingness to wait was due to his confidence that God was the only one worthy of his trust. Now, those who wait on God may be viewed as being indecisive or weak, but their wait will be vindicated when God's presence and power show up. Now, David says that God is his rock and salvation, and God is his defense. A rock provides a solid foundation. We know that. Therefore, David equates God with a solid rock. David's faith in God is based on something solid. It's not a wish upon a star kind of faith. He knows God. He knows the power of God. He has experienced God's presence and power as a youth. Now, when God's presence and power are real to us, our fears fade and our confidence in his deliverance soars. David didn't doubt God's deliverance. God had delivered him from the paw of a bear, the mouth of a lion, and from a giant named Goliath. Although facing a different enemy, David expects the same results from God. David also discovered that such faith provides a refuge in times of trouble. It removes our fears and calms our nerves. It provides peace when circumstances are like a raging storm. Now in verse 8 it reads, "Trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us." Now David directs his words to the people. He wants them to experience the same kind of confidence that everything will turn out all right. He wants them to take refuge in an all-powerful God. Trust in him. That's what David says. Who can we really trust, though? David sees men in two categories, and in this psalm he talks about them. The first is those who are of low degree, for they promise to help but cannot. They don't have the power or the ability to do so. Now, on the other hand, those who have the power yet break their promises because they are liars. In Psalm 118, it says, "It's better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." Now, everyone but God will eventually let us down, according to David. Psalm 62 invites us to sing along with David and join him in his expression of confidence in God alone. Without identifying a specific situation in David's life, the psalm becomes that much more accessible for any situation we might relate to the feelings expressed within. Whatever troubled David, we have our own troubles. David models for us how to face our own struggles, even though our troubles are different from his. We surrender every circumstance to God because we not only know God's strength and love, but we also know he will deal with evil and hold human beings accountable for their actions. Those who trust in God have nothing to fear. We fear neither God's judgment nor the troubles that have swamped us. The God of power and the God of mercy will do what is just and right.